Hello, furball lovers. So today we're going to look at the targeting command, and I'm going to go through it in a little bit more detail. I've taught this command inside of the Raising Furball playlist, and you'll see me use it throughout that playlist in order to get her into certain positions. But it's really useful to be able to just put your hand down and your dog kind of follows your hand around, whether it's, manipulating your dog to move over here or get out of someone's way. It's great for training other commands such as sit and down. If they're used to targeting against your hand, they're going to follow your hand. So you don't necessarily have to have a treat inside of that hand. So as with any command, the first step is always going to be getting the dog into position. So how do I get my dog into my position, and what is the position I want them in? And that is just simply touching my hand. You can do targeting with a tennis ball in the end of a dowel, a spatula. You can do it however you want, with whatever item you want. You can also have them target different parts of their bodies. I think I did a reaction video on a targeting video that the lady had like 14 areas of the body that she could target on. And she used that inside, movie making and stuff like that, which is awesome. But for most people, in my honest opinion, just getting them to touch your hand or touch their nose to your hand is extremely useful. So that's what I recommend to, all my clients, because it's been so useful in my day-to-day life. And that's kind of what I'm going for here, is just how to live happily with your dog. I'm not trying to get you to train your dog as a professional competition dog by any means. So to get the dog in position, I'm just going to put my hand down, kind of waggle it around. She's already trained on it a little bit, so she's probably going to do it pretty easily. But naturally, your dog is going to be interested in your hand when you put it down. They want petting. You give food from your hands, so it's pretty easy to get them into position. And then what I like to do is I like to immediately click and then release them immediately after that. And that's because dogs generally aren't going to touch your hand for a very long period of time. So you're going to quickly release them from the command, but that way you're building the association with stopping the command and moving away from your hand. And then as you start to raise that grading criteria, you can only reward them if they, touch your hand for a second or so. But always remember, you want to have 70 to 80% success rate whenever you're training. So let's start it here with her. Come here. Good girl. Yeah. Come on, lazy girl. Yeah. Touch. Okay. So I still haven't been able to extend it very long with her, but I'll show you a little bit of that. See, I waggle it. Okay. And with this command specifically, I found that, at least with my dog, touch. Okay. She almost takes the click as the release word. And so after I've done this for a little bit, what I'll do is I'll just not click anymore and I'll just use the release word. Touch. Okay. So you see there, she didn't move away as quickly. And that's because she didn't hear the clicker. But I kind of mix it up. Touch. Touch. So I'm raising no. So right there, I was trying to raise the grading criteria, make her touch for a little bit longer. She didn't touch again on my hand, and so I gave that no reward marker. But I still want her to succeed. Touch. Waggle. More. Touch. No. So if failure twice in a row, that generally means I need to lower my grading criteria a little bit more here. Touch. Touch. No. So she's fallen into other positions, and I'll notice this a lot with her. And what I do is I generally just walk around a little bit. Touch. Okay. And I'm going to make sure she succeeds immediately after that. Touch. Okay. Because she's doing the command consistently when I give, and that's why I'm giving the command word right now, is because she's consistently falling into position. Touch. Okay. So now she's on a little bit of a roll. Now what I'll try to do is I'll try to extend it just a little bit. Notice I didn't use the command word right there because she's distracted. Touch. More. Touch. Okay. Touch. Okay. So once you get it down like this, I just encourage you to do it for 4, 5, 6 lessons. Get her really used to this. Touch. Okay. She is holding on my hand a little bit longer, which is good. Touch. Okay. So we've already added the command word. We added the release word already. We can increase difficulty level now. We can start to fade out the treat. You notice I'm not saying it yet because I've noticed when she's sitting, touch, no. when she's sitting, I think what she's done is she's kind of associated sitting with rewards. Kind of go back to the sitting video, touch, okay. And so when she falls into the sit command, she's less likely to then get up and touch my hand until I actually release her, touch, okay. So just by walking around a little bit so she doesn't fall into the sit position, that seems to be working well, touch, more, okay. I'm just delaying it there for a second. And over time, I'll raise the grading criteria. Touch, touch. Okay. I'll raise the grading criteria to where she has to remain touched on my hand, because right now she touches, she moves, and then she touches again, and I'm counting that as a success. But eventually what I want to do is she holds position until I release her. Touch. Okay, like that. That was really good. So I'll give her a double reward for that. And that's all it is. It's a pretty simple command. It is very useful though. Highly recommend it to teach your dog. And now you can do things like manipulating her into the sit position because she's used to following your hand, right? Okay. You can get her into the down position. It is very useful for everyday tasks and a command that I highly recommend training. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. You're a good girl.